Hi, Marge. Well, hi, Bob. Hey, what's the matter? Marge, my sense of smell. It's just, I can't smell like I used to. With allergy season and pollen and all these things and toxins in the air, I just can't smell like I used to. I have the perfect remedy. Well, what is it? What is it, Marge? It's called Bidenase. Bidenase is fantastic, clinically proven to make you smell like the former vice president. You'll have the nasal capacity of 20 anteaters and 15 Jimmy Durantes. No way! Bidenase is clinically proven and was passed by President Obama's administration's FDA. You don't say. Are you sure it works? Yes, Bob. Why don't you try it out? I don't know. I'm kind of reluctant. Try it out. You'll be able to actually serve and work in a canine dog unit on the border from your house in Minnesota. Oh my goodness, Marge, really? Yes, try it out. Well, how does it work? Well, you have to put it on the hair follicles of something or somebody shorter than you. Oh my goodness, really? Could it be a ferret? Yeah, there's a ferret right there. Why don't you go check? Hold it. Oh my goodness. Spray a little Bidenase on there and smell. Oh my goodness. I feel like a meerkat on meth. That's right, Bidenase works, and it's clinically proven, and it's approved by the former vice president and his son. You should try it, and it also helps your tubing. You don't say. I've been having problems with my tubing. You will be puncturing bed sheets every morning. It's amazing. I've given it to my guy, and it works. Oh my goodness. I've been having problems with my tubing and my nasal fortitude. It's amazing. Try it. Bidenase, the number one nasal enhancer on the planet. Side effects include enlarged heart, brain hemorrhage, hemorrhoids the size of dollar bills, and in the occasional instance of your tubing being tubined for about 4 hours, call your doctor. This Bidenase really works, doesn't it, Bob? It really does. Just one thing, if you take it, you might actually lose track of your laptop, your phone, other things like that. Why is that? Because if you take too much Bidenase, you'll actually write incriminating emails showing that you're breaking the law, and you might lose elections 14 days before voting. Wow, that sounds bizarre, but I think I'll still take it. Thanks, Bob. Good talking to you. Bidenase really works. Bidenase, the number one nasal enhancer on the planet. Ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, Paul Bartlett. Thank you so very, very much, Paul Bartlett. To my Australian crew, Jimbo, Shungu, Mad Cow Mark, Paul Bartlett, Aussie Woman, Aussie J. The Australian crew is so strong, and it's just really amazing. Thank you. Thank you so very, very, very much. Paul Bartlett, thank you. I just was taking some Bidenase before I started, and my sense of smell is fantastic. Paul Bartlett, thank you so much for your kind words always, Paul. And one person who doesn't have to take Bidenase is Madam Secretary, because she has it in the bag. Madam Secretary will replace Botox B, the Exhumed Body, the originator of Bidenase. I don't know when. Maybe 3-4 days before. I don't know. I have no clue. Maybe the day of. Who knows? I don't care. I don't care when. I don't care how. I'm not going to get into the Michigas, but I don't know. David T, thank you. I don't know how. I don't know what more has to happen. does God himself have to say, people of earth, this man is corrupt. This is God. I have come down to tell you that Botox B, the exhumed body, is corrupt, and his son has substance issues that makes makes his father a national security threat. And by the way, those emails were written by the former vice president's son and business associates from various countries, sometimes countries that were adversaries of the United States of America. Those emails are legitimate. They're not Russian disinformation. This is God. I have never before spoken to human beings, except for today. This is the last time you'll ever hear my voice. And that would be, they would say, like, CNN would say, like, God has been duped again by Bannon and Russian disinformation and Giuliani and everybody. Well, at least we know God, isn't so omnipotent he can't be duped by a Putin's disinformation campaign. There's nothing that media will never simply say, okay, so Paul Bartlett, thank you so very much as always, and thank you for your kind words always, Paul, and your support. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. Arya Lee, can you do Mitch McConnell impersonation tonight? Love you, AJ, you rock.
Arya, thank you so very much. Arya Lee, you have to be at H.A. Goodman's channel on November 3rd, because we're all going to party hardy.
Arya, thank you.
Arya, thank you so very, very much, as always.
Claudia Wild. H.A., I heard they bought a website. I should have bought that. That's right. And then this was 2 days before. 2 days before Kamala Harris was 2 days before Kamala Harris was chosen as vice president. So I'm telling you, there's no way that look, they're going to lose the election. But I don't know how it's going to happen. The only chance they have to win is with Hillary Clinton. I hope the I'm With Her crowd, and I hope the Clinton campaign can hear this. The only chance, and I want everyone to quote me. I was the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, according to the Huffington Post, and I was the unofficial scribe of Sanders' most hardcore voters, according to the Washington Post. I wrote 100 articles in The Hill, the Huffington Post, Salon. I was a contributor to The Hill, the Cleveland Plain Dealer, the Jerusalem Post. I wrote endless articles talking about how Bernie Sanders was infinitely better than Clinton and that Clinton would lose to President Trump. I'm telling you, they have no chance with Biden. The only chance, and I hope somebody can just quote me from the I'm With Her crowd, the only chance Democrats have is with Hillary Rodham Clinton in 2020. And I don't care if it's a day before November 3rd. I don't care if it's a week before November 3rd. They are done. Biden-nays is done. Unless you want a nasal enhancer, he's done. Okay? This is what happens. And no offense, but this is what happens when you have a family member who enjoys very, very dangerous narcotics. It's done. Done. Claudia Wild, Aria Lee, thank you, Paul. Thank you so very much as always. Justin Mooney, who likes him so. Justin Mooney. I'd say Tubin. Tubin has now surpassed Anthony Weiner. When you're on a Zoom meeting and you touch yourself in ecstasy and you lower the camera, apparently, when you lower the camera, you're like, when you're lowering the camera, it's an issue. when you're lowering the camera to get a better video, Scorp Target, thank you. Yes, it's happening better than I could ever have imagined. Even I couldn't imagine tubining. Who does that? Okay, again, I'm from the 90s. Do you understand? We didn't do this. I remember going out, I tell you, without even cell phones. I had a pager. Got a pager at a swap meet. Okay? I would get numbers from, women I met at the nightclub or bars on napkins. No cell phone, no Instagram, no nothing, no Facebook, no nothing. We just have a stack of numbers and my pager. And you didn't take Polaroids of your tubing. There was no tubing Polaroiding. No. You didn't do that. Serge Lachance. You didn't do that in the 80s and 90s. Classic story. I love HA. Do you think Killer Stage? No, but if classic story, if the Bureau had the laptop since December, and this is very important for everyone here. Classic story, Climb, BMX, Justin Mooney, Claudia Wild, Aria Lee, and Paul Bartlett. If the Bureau had the laptop since December, I'm going to tell you, if the Bureau had the laptop since December, I repeat, if the Bureau had the laptop since December, I will 100% tell you that Madam Secretary and Bubba Bill knew. It's a 100% certainty. That's not conjecture or hyperbole or paranoia or whatever. It's 100% certainty. And that's it. That's it. That's there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. It's a 100% certainty. So it's not a matter of, do you think possibly, do you think maybe that's the case, or possibly, or, that could possibly be the case. They knew. And you got to ask yourself also, if Director Ray had a laptop belonging to Botox B, if Director Ray had a laptop belonging to Botox B, how many other people had knowledge? And you got to ask yourself, well, did President Trump know? Because I think that President Trump probably knew. I I don't think that, I think that media is always the last to know about pretty much everything. Claudia Wild! If HSC replaces Sleepy Joe, does she receive? Yes. She receives all his mail-in votes. All the mail-in votes. So she receives all the mail-in votes according to how the Electoral College is set up. That's a Politico article that talked about this. Aussie woman! Hi, H.A. How is Hillary going to have a chance of running if her emails Clinton Foundation is under investigation? God bless you. God bless you, Aussie woman. There's likely an investigation. I don't know if there's an official investigation anymore. So I don't think they're investigating the Clinton Foundation at the moment. Aussie woman, even if they were, the general public is not really interested anymore in. There's too much going on for the public to revisit the controversies associated with Madam Secretary. So, Aussie woman, thank you so very, very much. The way they work is the following. They have spent 4 years trying to make everything morally relative. So Claudia Wild, they give all the votes that Biden gets in early voting. They would go to Madam Secretary. And Aussie woman, at this point right now, Biden is the person who is the most, let's put it this way, they'll actually view Clinton as an upgrade, as less corrupt than Biden. So, I mean, that's pretty much where they're at right now. I think that they're so delusional at this moment. I don't know how many. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's like this plan or that people. I don't know how many people truly believe that the former vice president. I don't know how many people truly believe the former vice president is going to be replaced. All I can tell you is that there's no chance for them to win, especially with what came out today from Rudy Giuliani, which I can't really talk about. And even this is, any discussion of how horrible they are is like, a big problem. But you have a situation where every single day, Angela Goodwin, Tubin is the nomen. Hey, Omen, it is not his. It's not his fault. It is his destiny. It was a Russian tubing. Tubin as in gubernatorial. Thank you, Angela Goodwin. Thank you. I just think that Angela, Aussie woman, you have to ask yourself, well, where is the Democratic Party now? Every single day, there's a new story that is even more egregious than the one prior. There's 2 weeks left of the election, and Thursday is going to be hilarious because every single question President Trump answers, every single question that President Trump answers, he's going to talk about the laptop. Every single question. So it could be about climate change. It could be about the pandemic. Every single possible question. And notice that how foreign policy is not on the debate list. Like, how do you have a presidential debate where you don't talk about foreign policy? That's how you know Democrats made up the whole Russian hacking and Russian disinformation nonsense. They don't even want to talk about it because they're so frightened of what's on the correspondence in that computer. Mark Waldrop, hello. Hello, Mark. Thank you so very, very much. Mark Waldrop, thank you. Thank you very much, Mark Waldrop. Thank you. Claudia Wild. HA, do you honestly think Joe will show up for the debate or step down first? I think he'll show up for the debate. I don't know when. I don't know when. Madam Secretary will replace Botox B. I do know that it has to happen. I do know that it has to happen because they have no chance. Look, President Trump can always run on the fact that he had record low unemployment. He can always run on the fact that he was able to and now there's early voting that shows that they're tied, like Republicans and Democrats are tied in Michigan. Mark Waldrop, thank you. Claudia Wild, thank you. Loud Citizen, net loss. What they gain with Hillary will be less than laptop will cost. Exactly. They'll be slaughtered of violence. I agree with you. And I don't even think they would lose anything. Loud Citizen. Mark Waldrop, thank you. Loud Citizen, thank you. Claudia Wild, thank you. Aussie Woman, thank you so very, very much. And God bless you as well, Aussie Woman, thank you. I just think that when you look at people say, oh, well, they wouldn't be able to make that switch. They would absolutely make that switch. They would absolutely be able to make that switch. They would have no problems making that switch. No problems at all. And it's just every single day there's something horrendous. Every single day there's something horrible. And I mean, where's the moment? Like, the momentum is all President Trump. There's no momentum. There's literally no momentum. You're talking about a presidential campaign where today let me go and see and look. I'm trying to look right here. I took a screenshot. There was 936 people. 942 people watching. Started streaming 31 minutes ago. This is on Joe Biden's YouTube channel today. 942 people watching. We'll approach that on this channel tonight. Loud Citizen, thank you. Valerie Rogers, Halloween costume whack-a-mole suit. Valerie, thank you. The Golden Moo-Moo. The Golden Moo-Moo, thank you so very, very much. Thank you so very, very much. The Golden Moo-Moo, thank you. The Golden Moo-Moo is happening slowly but surely. Slowly but surely it's happening. And I don't know how or when, but it's going to take place. The Golden Moo-Moo, thank you. Thank you again. I'm looking at this 900 and... Unbelievable. 900 and what was it? 900 and... 942 watching. A half an hour in. There's like 9,000 people waiting for President Trump, even before he starts talking on any live stream. There's 9,000 people waiting for President Trump before he starts talking on any live stream. So, I mean, it's pretty unbelievable. It's pretty unbelievable. And every single day, there's something. You have President Trump, by the way, doing quite well in mail-in voting. He's doing remarkably better than people think. There's an article here, Dems in absolute panic as early data shatters narrative in key states. So, up until this weekend, the Democratic victory narrative has been this: Dems will outperform in early and mail-in voting. Republicans leery to mail-in voting will opt in for in-person voting and will outperform on Election Day. However, in the end, the in-person voting will not be enough to overcome the massive early voting by the Democrats. This weekend, that narrative shattered in some key states. It's absolute panic. Politico's lead story today contains this revealing quote about many anxiety-ridden memos in Democratic offices. Quote, Democrats are poring over early voting totals, circulating anxiety-ridden campaign memos, and bracing for a long 2 weeks. Michigan is chief among Democrats' worries. With 25% of the vote in compared to 2016, Republicans have a slim advantage heading into Election Day. This cannot happen. It's expected a rush of ballots from Republicans leery of mail-in voting will be cast in person on November 3rd. You have Michigan Republicans have the early lead among early and mail-in voting. Texas Republicans shatter early voting expectations, and it appears that blue Texas is gone. Well, of course, the blue Texas is gone. Texas is going to take. I don't know why people would think that Texas would go blue. I don't get it. As Democratic, the lockdown is suppressing the college vote on college campuses across America during a normal election year. Many of the social events are tied to campaign events for most Democratic candidates, not this year. Also, a general complacency of inevitable Biden win has gripped campuses. As it turns out, many college outreach initiatives have been canceled in Michigan, including virtual rallies and door-to-door canvassing, due to Biden's lead and concerns over social distancing. The result, college students have not turned out to vote yet. So, I mean, the numbers show in Dane, Wisconsin, home to UW-Madison, and one of America's most liberal college towns, the 18 to 29 vote declined from 8% in 2016 to 7.3% in 2020. This came as a big surprise. 27% of the total 2016 vote is already in, and Wisconsin youth vote was expected to be energized. North Carolina, same thing. So, I mean, if Michigan, if Republicans are doing better in Michigan than they originally thought, it's game over. It is game over. PJP 72. The channel's most suburban women watch aren't covering this. If it was for me, my wife would have had no idea what was going on. That scares me. If it wasn't for me, my wife, wow. And that's true also, but the thing is, there's word of mouth, though. That's the thing. PJP 72, thank you as always. PJP 72. Word of mouth is a lot more important than what CNN or MSNBC or so they're done. They are absolutely done. Trump Lord 9000. This anti-Biden initiative feels like it has crooked. They're waiting in the shadows. Trump Lord 9000. I think so. I mean, it doesn't. You got to. I mean, Madam Secretary didn't have to do much. She didn't have to do much. I mean, Botox B and his son, they did all the work. The Golden Moo Moo. All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-ups. The Golden Moo Moo. Thank you, James. It's just cranberry juice. The Golden Moo Moo, Trump Lord 9000, PJP 72. The Golden Moo Moo, Valerie Rogers. Thank you so very much. Loud Citizen, thank you. I just think that they didn't have to do much. I mean, they're done. They are seriously in a very difficult situation. They're in an extremely difficult situation right now. If you have early voting that doesn't show Democrats in a substantial lead, what on earth are they going to do on election day? They already think that it's irresponsible to go out and vote, or that it's dangerous. That you have people actually disinfecting ballots. You have people actually disinfecting ballots. I mean, they're disinfecting ballots. And they're ruining ballots. So if you have early voting where Democrats are not completely crushing Republicans, and on election day, you know it's going to be a huge disparity. Probably, at least 50-40, might even be closer to 60-30. The Golden Moo-Moo, thank you so very much. The Golden Moo-Moo. We're gonna see the Golden Moo-Moo very soon, Madam Cyberhack. Loud Citizen tonight's in Kane. Wow. 417 views. Wow. Loud Citizen. Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. There is no enthusiasm. The enthusiasm is only one way. Angela Goodwin. Technology became the enemy of the Democrats. Exactly. I agree with you. All turns up against... Exactly. You machines... Exactly. I agree with you. Angela. Cali Boy. Kamala Harris is helping to dig up dirt on Joe. I wouldn't doubt it, Cali Boy. I wouldn't doubt it. I don't think that Kamala Harris liked Joe Biden initially to begin with, which is very bizarre, too, because this is why I say that was Clinton's pick, because, you go with two women on election day, and at least you could say, okay, well, you know what, do you want to change? Because here are two women. Here are two women on election day. Why would you go with a politician, a Democratic politician, who basically called Botox B racist? They wanted segregation. I don't get that. I don't understand. It's only Democrats understand that. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I mean, I don't get that. I don't get it. I don't get how Democrats can stand on this pedestal, this morally righteous pedestal, and Senator Harris can basically say, well, you worked with segregationists and you were against busing and you did all this and you did all that in the crime bill and then she's like, oh, but Joe Biden's the best. And then when Stephen Colbert And when Stephen Colbert says, well, did you mean this? And she's like, it's a debate. It's a debate? Really? I don't see any chance. I don't see any chance of Botox B winning. And I'm not being... They're the only chance they have. California veteran! Thank you, California veteran. Thank you so very, very much. God bless you. Thank you, California veteran. Thank you. Jeffrey Withy, thank you. God bless you, my brother. God bless you, Jeffrey. Texas has more votes cast as of last night than all votes cast in 2016. Yes, Jeffrey, God bless you. California veteran, God bless you. Thank you so very much, Jeffrey and California veteran. Love it. And they keep saying Texas is going to go blue. I'm like, why would Texas go blue? Tell me why. If 2 Republican senators, a Republican governor, tell me most of the states red, so tell me, I don't understand why Texas would go blue. You have major cities that are liberal, fine, but that's the case everywhere. That's the case everywhere. Cities are always going to be a little bit more liberal. Jeffrey, thank you so very much. Cali boy, thank you. Angela, thank you. Golden Moo Moo, thank you. Loud Citizens, thank you. Claudia Wild, HA has president. Presidential nominee ever been replaced? Yes. Can they run? The vice presidential nominee has been replaced. Sorry. Can they run President Trump unopposed? Inquiry minds want to know. No. They need to. I think that a vice president. Okay, so a vice president has been replaced. So I forgot exactly when. I think it was what, 19. In 1972, I think they replaced the vice president. They replaced Thomas Ingleton for George McGovern was the nominee. So hold it. Once it became apparent. No. He was replaced. Okay, so how the time? I forgot exactly. Okay, so hold on one second. Let's see. Okay. Sorry, they replaced Sergeant Shriver with Thomas Ingleton. So. No, Thomas Ingleton. You know what? I have to hold on. Thomas was the United States Senator. He was briefly the Democratic vice presidential nominee until under McGovern in 1972. Okay. Ingleton was forced to quit the race, and then they replaced him. Eventually replaced him. There's more to the story, but California veteran, thank you. Jeffrey, thank you. The Golden Moo Moo. They call him Madam Cyber Hack with a hammer. The Golden Moo Moo, thank you so very, very much. The Golden Moo Moo, thank you so very, very much. Thank you. Thank you so very much, Golden Moo Moo, for your support, and it's happening slowly but surely. This will be the biggest political call of all time, or just a very good call with Trump going 8 years. I just think that this is going to be a very, very interesting. It'll be very interesting, Madam Cyberhack, Golden Moo Moo. It will be extremely, extremely interesting to see how Democrats respond. Right now, they're not even responding to this. They're not even responding to anything. They think they're up. They're so deluded. They're so delusional when it comes to They're just so delusional when it comes to anything that has to do with the election and Trump. They just think that everyone dislikes President Trump the way they do. And that's not the case. And you heard this tonight. There was like one clip of the Women's March or some march where somebody was saying that, like, yeah, with Trump, it's just black and white. It's just, there's no gray area with Trump. It's like, no, that's why you're going to lose. Because with every politician, there's good and bad. And President Trump has done great things. He didn't destroy a country like President Obama. President Trump has allocated more funding to historically black colleges and universities than any president ever, and made it permanent funding. He signed the First Step Act. He ended the war in Afghanistan, bringing home Americans. So how is that a bad thing? Angela Goodwin. Harris should Gandhi give her a chance, but she missed that point. Angela Goodwin, thank you. Thank you, Angela Goodwin, thank you. You find out, ladies and gentlemen, you start looking at every single day. I've been asking myself every single day for a long time. I've been saying this is the end of Biden's campaign, and it's not like the people who say this is the end of Trump's campaign. This is the end of Trump's campaign. They're saying that because they don't like him, and every single story about Trump is pretty much fabricated. There has to be a dossier. There has to be an unnamed source. These are emails that Hunter wrote. These are emails that he wrote. Emails that he wrote himself. Nobody debates whether or not he wrote those emails. Absolutely nobody debates. There's no one who debates whether or not he wrote the emails. And that'll be their undoing. That'll be like that'll be what does them in, because they're not addressing the actual issue. The issue is the following. Are the emails accurate? Is Rudy Giuliani giving emails to a local police station? Are these emails accurate? If the emails are accurate, which they almost certainly are, then they're done. Then they're done. And the only thing that could save them right now is Hillary Clinton. And Democrats know this. I mean, the smart Democrats know this, which aren't, not many of them. And she'll lose again to President Trump, but it's like the way that the Clintons are going to market this is, well, we didn't really know or want to campaign. We were supporting Biden all the way. I mean, we wrote that Medium article, and what do you want? I mean, we endorsed him during the convention, virtual. So they're pretty much done. In terms of any possibility with the former vice president, they're done. Now it's just, do they want to lose with Biden, or do they want to take a chance and win? Which I think that it's not whether they want. It's a matter of when Madam Secretary decides to really, take it to the House. to really go all in. Because if you've noticed, both, Madam Secretary and Bill, but mainly Madam Secretary, has been all in for Biden. Wow, gee, can I work for your administration? We need to elect. But I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I just don't think it's feasible. Loud citizen. ID through both absentee envelopes. Oh, wow. Justin Mooney. Trump ruined Jeb Bush by calling him low energy. Now Botox B is taking naps under the lid while Trump looks stronger than ever. Exactly. People respond to strength. Exactly. Paul Bartlett, thank you again. Thank you again, Paul Bartlett, for the kind words and the enthusiasm and support. Thank you. Justin, thank you, as always, for your support. And you're 100% right. You are 100% right, Justin Mooney. People respond to strength. People respond to strength, and people respect. People respect strength, but they respect perseverance. They respect a person who is out there and is open to the slings and arrows. That's one thing Trump is open to the slings and arrows. He's open to like the press, to battling media. He is open. And if you hide from the truth, people know why you're hiding. You know, Trump doesn't need to hide. He just doesn't need to hide. Creating Wingless Angel, thank you. Hit the like button. Thank you, Justin. Thank you so very much. Mr. Chu, would Madam Secretary really allow Harris? I don't think so. I think that was supposed to be your glass ceiling to break. Exactly. Absolutely. Exactly, Mr. Chu, thank you. Exactly. Pete Solano. HA, we have to hear why am I not 50 points again? You went on crazy screaming followers. You know what? It would only be for 5 or 6 days or so. Patrice, hello. Pete and Mr. Chu and Justin Mooney, it would only be for about 5 or 6 days. Look, if they lost, ladies and gentlemen, if they lost with a Comey letter a week before the election, you know what? Why can't they switch a week before the election and do their own thing and try to, tempt fate or alter fate or alter the future in their own, create their own future? Because right now there's no way. I mean, there was never any way that Botox B could win. The whole thing was completely fabricated. The whole thing was fabricated. So there was never a point where the former vice president, was 16 points ahead of anybody. PJP 72 3 a.m. phone call. There will be a phone call. There'll be a phone call. But it's and that 3 a.m. phone call ad was a racist ad. Claudia Wild, rumor is press is camped outside Biden compound waiting for midnight, right? I don't know. I think if they're waiting on anything to do with Biden, they'll be waiting a while because he's put a lid until Thursday. So be here definitely Thursday because we're gonna have a fun time Thursday. He's going to have one thing Trump will do is he doesn't play by the completely rigged rules, the completely biased rules. He doesn't play their game, and that's why they can't stand him because they can't control him. They can't control Trump, and he calls them out. Claudia, thank you. Angela Goodwin. Ray Tomlinson, 1971, ruined the chance of 2020 Democrats. He invented email. Yes. Yes. Nicoletta, hello. Sam Roth, hello. Angela Goodwin, yes. Claudia Wild, hello. I just think, you can't run the ball when you're down. When you're up by, let's just say Biden was up. If you're up by 3 and you run the ball in the beginning of the fourth quarter, you're going to lose the game. If you can't run out the clock. Oh, by the way, congrats to the LA Dodgers. Yes. Dodgers. Looking like, Kershaw won. So happy for Clayton Kershaw. So happy for the Dodgers. LA will have 2 champions. I know it's only game 1, but it's pretty awesome. It is going to be the next 2 weeks. You'll have Amy Coney Barrett confirmed, 6 days from now? Next week. Monday? Yeah, Monday? Monday or Tuesday, you'll have Amy Coney Barrett confirmed. You'll have more emails from the former vice president's son's laptop. It's like you have President Trump campaigning, and they are going to say that Trump lost. Look, I already know what they're going to say. Trump was rude. He kept bringing up Russian disinformation. Biden will say it's Russian disinformation. You cannot win an election with an already debunked fantasy. They're all going to say President Trump lost the debate. He's losing points. He lost points in the debate. Angela, thank you. Claudia, thank you. PJP72, thank you. Creating with Winged Angels, thank you. Pete Solano, thank you. Zero Chill. Little off topic. What's your opinion on the California Democrats repealing? Let's see. Is that there's a lot of bizarre things on the ballot in California, like a lot of bizarre things. Yeah, it's just another another way they can
try to... California is trying to do a lot of very, very, very left-leaning things. So, and no opinion right now. Zero chill, thank you. I guess no opinion at this very moment. Zero chill, thank you so very much to my viewers in Canada. Thank you. It's almost like every left-leaning politician is trying their best to make every single possible choice an extreme liberal or progressive choice to make, except when it comes to things that have broad appeal on the left, like Medicare for all or a Green New Deal, because they know that A, they don't want to run on higher taxes, B, they don't think it's feasible. Zero chill, thank you so very much. I wish I could give you a better answer, but there's like a whole bunch of propositions. And the Mastodon, thank you. Loud Citizen, Trump says he may post unedited 60 minutes before airtime. Nice. They're always, it's like always, they have spent the past 4 years He should. Trump threatens to release Leslie Stahl interview ahead of 60. He should. This is the Democrats. They spend 4 years complaining about Russian interference. Then they care about the right to vote. Because they assume that the people that they're talking about will vote for them. Suddenly voter suppression. But no talk about voter suppression 4 years prior. Absolutely no talk about voter suppression 4 years prior. But definitely, voter suppression. Except, they didn't talk about that for 4 years. All they talked about was Russian disinformation, Russia. Aria Lee! Just here to spark up the chat. Can you do a Slick Willie debating Mitch McConnell? Ha! You knew very well that the notorious Amy Coney Barrett, you just want to win that election any way possible.
Bubba Bill, why don't you mind your own business? Before I bring up some unsavory details about your life.
Oh, really? What more details have been brought up that people don't already know? I don't use email like Hunter and my wife.
If you mess with the bull, you're gonna get the horns. And I know you know all about the horns, but don't start nothing. There won't be nothing.
All right. Well, I'll come back later. I just want to let you know I know what you're doing. I know exactly what you Republicans are doing. And my wife's the only thing that can help this political party because of what you've done with Giuliani and Russian disinformation.
Why don't you shove it where the sun don't shine?
Aria, thank you so very, very much, Aria. Claudia Wild. HA, you have the best live chat on YouTube, bar none. Good night and Trump on. Claudia Wild. Thank you so very much. Yeah, I mean, it's really, I mean, with you and everyone here and Aria and Aussie Woman and everybody and Justin Mooney and everyone here, California veteran, Jeffrey, Angela, I mean, the Golden Moo, my goodness, and Paul Bartlett. My Australian crew is strong. Paul Bartlett, thank you so much for your kind words and just your kind words alone, Paul, mean a great deal. Your support and the enthusiasm that you provide I have really, really good people who've lived a lot of life and have a whole lot more life to live. And the good thing is that, see, I'm from the 90s, and if you're from before the 90s, we've lived more shared experiences. Like the other day, okay, the past couple of years, I've heard the following. Ladies and gentlemen, I've heard from a kid in his 20s, who's Milli Vanilli? And I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And that made me feel old / like, what? Like, are you talking? How could you not know who Milli Vanilli is? I even heard, like, from a person, 20-something, who's John Wayne? And I'm like, oh my God. That is, like, you're in a different world. But when you lived in a world without the internet, you can see all of this in a better, like, you can see all of this in a much, much, much better, through much better a vantage point. It's one of the reasons President Trump will win is because you have a lot of people who would vote Democrat. Like, if they had a viable alternative to President Trump, they would vote for that person. I'm telling you, there are millions of people. Brian, hello. Pete Solano. HA, can you do an imitation of a Democrat blaming everyone else for their election? It would be like, hold on. Like on election night, it would be like, okay, America, you decided to rip up the Constitution, to shove the Republic in our country down the toilet, and you listened to the former mayor of New York and his disinformation campaign. It was misogyny, it was racism, it was Russian disinformation, it was Martians, it was interstellar galaxies located within atoms. From a quantum physics perspective, it was every single thing but us. Pete Solano is the best I could do right now. Pete Solano, thank you. Aaron Paradiso. I have asked you no less than 15 questions that have all been reviewed. Aaron, I had to, okay. Have you noticed, ladies and gentlemen, the name of the, gosh, I don't want to, the title sometimes, okay. Everything is monitored. And I am flying so low under the radar. And I'm like vanilla ice cream. I'm like so bland that even sometimes they try to give me a hard time, but it like doesn't ever work. I am so following the rules, and even I am like, what? What are you talking about? Aaron Paradiso, it affects everybody. But don't worry, Aaron. We just have to just relax. It's like, you know what it's like? It's like walking past armed guards in, like, a dystopian 1984 on your way to freedom. Just don't create any. Just walk. Walk to November 3rd. Aaron, everyone here, Pete Solano, Aria, Aussie woman,
Paul Bartlett. We're going to walk slowly. Don't say anything. Just walk past CNN and MSNBC. Just walk. And then we walk to November 3rd, we win. And then Santos O'Reilly. I'll accept it, of course. Of course, I always accept peaceful transition of power. Waco Keiko. Life gets so much easier when you dismiss Russian freak out of hand, not acknowledging them as being legitimate. Oh, yeah. Now I don't. I absolutely don't anymore. No, I agree with you. I agree with you. 100%. Waco Keiko, that is, okay, everyone, and I'm telling you, there's a lot of philosophy and there's some existential value in what Waco Keiko said. Life gets so much easier when you dismiss the Russiagate freaks out of hand and not acknowledging them as being legitimate. Exactly. Just don't legitimize. Do not legitimize. When they say, just one thing to say in your mind, are the emails accurate? Well, of course they're accurate. The emails are accurate, they're accurate. Brian Levy! I completed my painting collection for 2020. I created 100 paintings in addition to working full-time. God bless you. That's fantastic. Everybody give Brian a lot of love. That is fantastic. I wish I had any artistic talent with art. I wish. I've been watching a lot of documentaries on, like all the great, like Jack Kirby and all the great artists, comic book artists, just all the great comic book artists, and it's just really amazing. Really amazing how Todd McFarlane, like all the great comic book artists, and Jim Lee, and how they got into the business, and how they got into Neil Adams, how they got into the business, and how they like transformed the business. It's just or the industry. Really, really interesting. It's really interesting. I read comic books my whole life. Love comic books. So Neil Adams was awesome. Is awesome. You know who's really, really, really fantastic also? He's John Romita Jr. Love John Romita Jr. His X-Men covers. Love John Romita Jr. Brian Levy, thank you. And congratulations on that. Keep on doing. I think that it's really important, if you can, like, you have talent, like, utilize that talent, especially, like, not everybody has, I would love to have artistic talent, like, it could be wonderful to, like, be able to draw things, paint things, but that, not everybody has that. Of course, you have to also, like, it helps if you've been to, like, art school and, help promote that talent. But yeah, I mean, people are, have God-given skills. They're fantastic. Brian, continue the amazing work. Definitely continue. If you're lucky enough to be able to do so, and plus Brian said he's working full time, so if you're lucky enough to be able to do so, and engage in your passion or what you feel passionate about or what you have a talent for, it's fantastic. Jacob Reed, do you trust Barr? Should he appoint Hunter special candidate FBI sat on laptop? What about Barr? I think Barr is fine. I know that they're like on my Jacob, like on my
people who have perhaps sometimes different opinion from me on my on my afternoon, my 1 p.m. on my 1 p.m. live stream, I get a lot of, how about Barr, huh? A Barr, he's a horrible Barr. Well, the worst, Barr, the worst. It's like, well, I don't trust any, I don't really trust, I wouldn't say trust is the word, but like, I don't see any course of action that William Barr can engage in at this point right now. I just really don't. I don't think that William Barr can start a special counsel right, this moment, 2 weeks before the election. I don't think that's even possible. So I think that if you look at Jacob, there have been a lot of people unfortunately duped. Into trusting the worst Keebler elf who's ever existed. Good old Jeff Sessions. I mean, we're talking about the nefarious Keebler elf, without whom you just literally don't have a special counsel. So, I think, I mean, you just look at what this man has been able to do thus far. There's a Durham probe. He represented President Trump after the Mueller probe found absolutely nothing. He immediately, after the IG report finding, we didn't find any evidence. Yeah, because you weren't given all the evidence. That's the thing. They're never given any evidence. That's the problem. So, I just think that he's been pretty, on the money for President Trump. He's been the worst evil Keebler elf of all time. I don't know of a Keebler elf that's been more nefarious. And then he had the audacity to run for Alabama senator. Like, what? So, if again, I don't see. I just don't see, ladies and gentlemen. I just don't see how it's possible for Botox B, the former vice president. I just don't see how it's possible for him to I don't see how it's possible for him to rebound. And I think it's not a matter of what Democrats do, because even I get caught up in that. Even I get caught up in what Democrats would do. I don't think it's possible for them to actually rebound. I think that I don't think it's possible for them. I don't even think they know what's going on. They were consumed with their own propaganda. They were absolutely consumed with their own propaganda. And I think that they are now in a very, very precarious situation. And I think it's not what Democrats decide. It's when Madam Secretary and Bubba Bill say, "All right, now is the time. Strike while the iron's hot." I think that It's a matter of whenever they decide, Madam Secretary, her team, whatever, whenever they decide that they're going to save the Democratic Party, then that's what'll take place. Pete Solano, Jeff Sessions could get a job in a Keeler cookie commercial in a tree. Pretty much. I don't see this, I just don't see it being very good. I don't see any of this being very good for Democrats going. It's going to just get worse. It's going to, exponentially become worse. And they're so delusional. And they're going to realize that the country does not dislike Trump as much as they do. And the smart Democrats will realize that maybe they should probably just find a different, or maybe they should actually try to find a reason for people to vote Democrat aside from orange person bad. Maybe they should try to find a reason. A reason maybe to convince people. They haven't found a reason to convince people. Aaron Paradiso really don't want us to talk about. Exactly. They should scare everyone. Oh, I agree with you. Aaron, I agree with you. I think that's definitely true. It's definitely true. But again, it's not about principle with media or the left or liberals or Democrats. It's not about principle. It's about pure attainment of power, political power. That's it. They politicize everything from vaccines to believing Tara Reade to they've become anti-vaxxers. They now don't trust the intelligence community. They've never had an actual value system where there's principles that they would uphold even if it helped President Trump. That's not the way they work. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to do an upload right now on this channel, so check it out. And I just want to thank you, Paul Bartlett. Thank you so very, very, very much. Everyone here, thank you. To my super chat, thank you. Eric H526, Luke St. Martin, thank you very much. People, it's heating up. Madam Secretary, that dorsal fin ain't flipper. When Caligula writes a Medium article singing your praises, look out. You're what's for dinner. They're not going with a person who would never have won any other election in human history, including this one. So, ladies and gentlemen, give me your thoughts below. If you want to be part of a newsletter, it's contactgoodman78@gmail.com. It's only getting worse, people. It is only getting worse. Sam Roth, thank you. Paul Bartlett, thank you so very, very much. Eric, Luke, please be here. Everyone be here in about 10 minutes. I'll have a live stream. I'll have an upload on this channel in about 10 minutes. Thanks, everybody. God bless. To my super chat, thank you so much. Check out the upload and be here tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific.